Okay, so this is really just a very, very short introduction to begin to get you to think about issues around teaching and learning and reflecting on the kinds of processes and approaches that might be important if we're trying to produce really high quality teaching. When we teach, we tend to sort of get into a particular way of doing things that we're used to. But actually, perhaps what we need to do on a regular basis is ask ourselves questions about what it is we're attempting to do, such as what are our aims? What are we attempting to achieve when we teach? What do we count as being teaching? What do we see teaching as being as a process or collection of processes? And certainly, what is learning? A very, very difficult question, actually, and one that we still perhaps don't have a decent answer to. And when we're thinking about teaching and learning, how do we actually understand the tasks that we're attempting to undertake? So it leaves us with a series of questions really about what we mean by teaching and learning and what the processes are that are involved. At a simple level, we talk about teaching and learning as if teaching as a process automatically creates the conditions and the requirements for people to learn, and that people learn off our teaching, and having gone through an area of learning, we can then sort of get some idea of how well they've learned that area of content to feed back into our teaching. But is it really that simple? Because actually, if we have teaching and we have learning, within a university context, we also therefore need to have a curriculum, the framework of what it is we're trying to achieve. But even that isn't a complete model. Teaching actually is often the result of the way that we've designed a curriculum. So the curriculum is the longer term plan of what we're trying to achieve, and the teaching is what we're trying to achieve through that step by step. And both of these together are trying to create some kind of learning within students. But within a university situation, all of those three things ultimately have to lead to assessment. So we can't really talk about teaching and learning by themselves. They're actually teaching, learning, curriculum and assessment all linked together. But even then, that isn't enough, because all of those things can only happen where we have a teacher who's actually helping people to learn, and the students themselves and all the various needs that they have. In addition, we need to begin to think about how teachers can work together to improve the curriculum, to improve assessments, to improve their own professional practice and understanding of learning. So actually, if we're to understand teaching and learning as a series of processes and approaches, we also need to think about how we help teachers develop those approaches, develop those skills, so that they can become better teachers. All of these things taken together aren't just covered by the word teaching or the word learning. And what I'd like you to do is to read an article that I've written recently, which is under the title of holoploigy, which isn't a commonly used term, it's one that I've created. But what I'm trying to do is argue that we need to have a holistic understanding of the processes we're involved in.